y'all. Thank you for checking out this review of The Chi. This episode was called Feeling the Heat. The heat was definitely on, and we got to see just how these characters act under pressure. So overall, good episode. So let's get right into it. This episode kicks off with Brandon and Emmett. They done partnered up. They doing the damn thing. And Emmett, his feet have really been held to the fire with this whole child support situation, and he's really rising to the occasion. He's stepping up. And my first thought about that was, if Emmett would put half as much energy into becoming an entrepreneur and focusing on how to make money as he did having sex and making babies, he would be a force to be reckoned with. Really smart. He's really smart. So Brandon, he's going through it as usual. The freezer in the taco truck starts to leak, so all the meat went bad. I know Brandon ready to just throw his damn hands up and say F it all. But Emmett has a bright idea. He decides to sell one of his beloved sneakers, which, you know, he barely could part with the damn things. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, that little baby boy is still creeping in there, but he's maturing. He's getting better. So let's talk about Emmett's mom, Jada, for a moment. Jada is at home kicking it with her friend. They talking about how their kids is out the house now and they should be able to get some D now. I know that's right. Mama gotta have a life too. So later on in the episode, Jada comes home and there's a letter and a rose at her door. And it's an apology and an invite to dinner. She assumes it's from Darnell. But lo and behold, when she makes it to dinner, it is really from Emmett. And Emmett knew that his father wasn't going to apologize for the things that he said to her about her not being a good mother. And he apologizes on his behalf, which was very mature, Emmett. You know, I see Emmett maturing. I see you. But Emmett still got them baby boy tendencies. He tells his mom that he don't want her to date ever, and he's all the man that she ever gonna need. Boy, I guess your mom got needs too. Your mom got needs too. But I was happy to see them in that way. You know, all is forgiven, and they gonna move forward. That's what's up. So Emmett and Brandon finally make it down to the event that Emmett hooked up for him, and it's lit. They out there making a lot of money. However, in the midst of all of that, Emmett's baby mom started calling him, and they big mad. They big mad because Tiffany is receiving child support, and come to find out, Tiffany done posted a picture on Instagram with her holding her child support check. How ghetto. How ghetto was that? But the other baby moms, they not too happy about that. So one baby mom is mad because Tiffany is getting child support and she isn't. And the other baby mom is mad because Emmett is not seeing their child as often as he should. He made that bed, he got to lie in it. But that goes to show you, you know, social media, it can work for you or it can work against you. Especially now when people feel like they got to post their whole damn life story on social media. But, you know, I don't know how Emmett is going to react to that, because it's like he just now getting his footing with Tiffany. But hey, he got 2 other kids he got to take care of. You made the bed, now you got to lie in it. So let's talk about Ronnie for a moment. Cuda Brown. Ronnie makes his way down to the community center to thank Rafiq for sending someone over to mow his grandmother's lawn. And as soon as he walks in, he's already being side-eyed by everybody in there. You know, I knew he was going to get some of that backlash. You know, people not just going to turn a blind eye to you killing an innocent child. You know. So while he's down there, Rafiq asks him if he can help out around the community center. And Ronnie is not really feeling it. He feels like he's not welcome there. And Rafiq basically tells him to help anyway. You need this. You need to get out into the community and start your life over. So the community center is hot as hell. Ronnie offers to go downstairs and take a look at the AC unit. And lo and behold, he's able to fix it. So that means that Ronnie had a technical skill, a skill that would allow him to possibly be a contributing member to society. But he chose to be an alcoholic. And that's what I'm talking about Ronnie. Like, sometimes I think, of course, he was disabled. He has some sort of mental disability. But when we see that he has skills like this, I think that becoming an alcoholic was more so of a choice. Again, I just don't know what to make of Ronnie. So being that Ronnie fixed the AC unit, Rafik also asked him to come over later on and take a look at the water pressure in the kitchen. But Ronnie doesn't show up. He really couldn't take all those eyeballs on him. He feels like people are judging him, which they probably are, you know, to be real about it. They probably are judging him, and they ain't too happy to see him. So later Rafik comes over to visit Ronnie, and they have a man-to-man talk. And Ronnie is really fortunate to have someone like Rafik in his life, because no one can probably relate to what he is going through. It's not too many people out here who have killed children. So Rafik is explaining to Ronnie that when he returned home from prison for killing this little girl named Fatima, that the judgment on the outside made life worse for him than it was on the inside. And the only way that he was able to get through that was through Allah and forgiving himself. And I don't think anybody else would have been able to get that across to Ronnie like Rafik did. Really fortunate in having somebody like that to talk to. And I think that Ronnie is starting to feel better. You know, they had some scenes where he's smiling at the kids playing, and he goes out there to undo the fire hydrant so they can get squirted by the fire hose. And maybe he's getting some sense of self-worth back. I don't know if we should feel happy for Ronnie, and that's why he's one of those complicated characters. Yes, I want to see him do better, but he's a child killer. Kind of torn with that. Kind of torn. So let's talk about Kevin for a moment. Kevin is preparing for his father's funeral. His mother is explaining to him that he shouldn't feel guilty about not having a close relationship with his father. And with that being said, I'm sure Kevin has a lot of things going through his mind. He wasn't close with his father, and now he doesn't even have the opportunity to patch that relationship up. So I'm sure there's guilt, anger, there's a lot of different things going on there. Anyway, later on in the episode, they're at the funeral and everyone is playing the blame game. And I think that's pretty common. When someone passes, there's a lot of misplaced anger. People don't know what to do with their emotions, so that's totally understandable as well. His father's sister is going off on his mother because she feels that their father was never the same after she left him. I don't know why she's going off though, because it's not like any of that can bring him back. It's neither here nor there. And then later on in the episode, Keisha is also arguing with their mother because she never checked on their father or acted as if she even cared. And she was explaining to her, like, you know, we were divorced. I had to go on with my life. But again, I think Keisha is just angry, don't know what to do with her emotions, guilty, all of that. So it's just coming out in a lot of negative ways. And at the funeral, Keisha was bawling her eyes out, but Kevin was standing there stone-faced. I don't think he knows what to do with his emotions. And then you couple that with the fact that he's in a house full of women. He doesn't know how to let those emotions out. You know, whether to cry, whether to be hard. He really needs a man to talk to. You know, he really needs the advice of a man. So later on in the episode, Kevin hooks up with Papa and Jake. They up there smoking a blunt, and Papa didn't want no parts of that. You know, Papa's super smart. He ain't about that life at all. So Kevin starts asking those hard questions like, where is my father? Is he mad at me for not coming to see him? Serious questions. And of course his friends don't have the answers. You know, they're the same age. They don't have much experience. Kevin really does need a man, or at least someone who has had a similar experience to talk to. He's kind of lost. He's kind of angry. So Kevin goes over to Brandon's house and they have a heart-to-heart. Kevin asks Brandon about his father, whether he misses him or not, and Brandon is telling him, you know, I was only 4 when I lost my father, so I can't really say. I really didn't know the man. Kevin really didn't know his father as well, and he was explaining to him that people were saying all these things about him at the funeral, how he knew how to play jazz, and Kevin didn't know that. So I'm sure he feels really guilty about that as well. So later on, Kevin starts to cry. And I think that's all that Kevin needed. He needed an adult male presence, a safe space to release those emotions. So that's great that he has someone such as Brandon in his life to help him get through this. Because like I said, he's living in a house with all women. And I'm sure he doesn't feel safe enough to really let how he's really feeling come out. So Keisha invites Emmett over for a booty call right after her father's funeral. Hey, I've been in that space before. Like sometimes you are feeling so much pain that you just want to feel anything else. Anything that'll take your mind off of what you're going through. You know, make you feel good, as Halle Berry would say. But Emmett ain't feeling it. Emmett ain't feeling it because she has her father's obituary program right there on the nightstand, which, you know, that's creepy. You can't really get it in when you got a dead person staring at you. Father staring at you, for that matter. So Emmett is real mature. He doesn't want to take advantage of her when she's going through something like that. So, you know, Emmett showing that maturity again. They decide to just cuddle. So let's talk about Detective Toussaint and Reg. Detective Toussaint was able to get a search warrant to raid Reggie's home, and she invites Detective Cruz as sort of a peace offering. Detective Cruz done had his panties in a bunch ever since she's come in. So when she get down there, she go all training day on the people, and she punching people, roughing people up, and Detective Cruz was not here for it. He was not trying to be a part of that shit, and she basically called him a hypocrite. So she was telling him, you the last one that need to have an attitude because you done your fair share of fuck shit, which he has. So, you know. So with all of that being said, Duda's product and all of the money were seized in the raid. So Duda has to take a trip down to see the old man, and I guess that's the head boss. His jail cell was plush. He had a TV on the wall, leather chair, a bed. Duda brought him some Louis XIII and a woman. So he got it going on down there in the jail. At any rate, Duda has to make his report. He tells him that one of the castles has been raided, but the old man doesn't seem too worried about it. He feels that the future is in home ownership, which makes me think about that whole Family C Realty thing. Maybe that is what they were trying to do, scare the residents out of the neighborhood so they could buy it up. I don't know. So lastly, Duda pays Reg a visit and they discuss how they're going to launder the money. Reg recommends Brandon's taco truck. I hate Reg. I hate Reg. Brandon is trying to run a legitimate business and he ain't signed up for this street shit. But that just goes to show you, like, when you in the hood, even when you trying to do things the right way, trouble will sometimes still find you. I hate Reg. Anyway, I think Duda is about sick of Reg's shit because he keep making mistakes. So he better watch it. He gonna end up somewhere stinking, you know? He gonna end up somewhere stinking. So Duda already has his antennas up. He makes his way down to Brandon's taco truck, congratulates Brandon on starting his own business, gives him his card, and tells him that he likes to look out for entrepreneurs. Brandon don't even know what's about to hit him. I hope he don't fall for it. Brandon needs investors So he just might fall for this. I hope he don't. I hope he don't. Anyways, that was The Chi. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments. Subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you next time. Peace.